If you're not subscribed, get subscribed and turn on all notifications so you never miss a brand new video here on my astrology YouTube channel. Now, before we get into today's main content discussing this very big and important transit for Jupiter, I just want to quickly mention that I do have a free astrological Facebook group community, and I've had that group for several years. I've been doing astrology for many years now. I'm no stranger to this ancient science, and what's truly and honestly amazing about my Facebook group is I kind of consider it the storehouse for all of my receipts, my proof, and my evidence to fully back up all of my main astrological predictions and my insights. Because let's face it, so many people all around the world, they don't fully believe in astrology. They think it's some pseudoscience. They don't think that it actually works. They think it's some sort of scam, but newsflash, it's not. And so, for example, in my Facebook group, you can go back many years. I have nothing to hide here. But for example, I have successfully predicted the health crisis of 2020. I predicted that several months before it actually unfolded. And so many other of my main predictions are in that amazing Facebook group, and there's people all around the world in that group. So again, the link is found down below. Also found below in the description down there as well is my email. And you can actually send me a direct email if you are really needing an astrological reading and consultation. That's the best way to set up and schedule all of my readings and consultations. So what's ever going on in your personal reality, I'd love to help guide you and help work with you with anything or everything, I should say, with what's going on in your personal life. Again, the email to schedule that reading with me is in the description down there as well. So let's just dive right in. So, full transparency and honesty, I'm not a Western-based astrologer. I mention this in so many of my videos here on my channel because I think it's important to be transparent no matter who you follow really on YouTube or other social media platforms. So for that, with that said, Jupiter is actually going to be transiting and moving into Taurus this week, actually, May 1st. So Jupiter typically stays in one single zodiac sign for about 12 months, give or take. And so with that said, there's so much to unpack here, and there's so much to learn with this important transit. So what exactly is Taurus? Taurus has a lot to do with consumption. It deals a lot to do with consumerism, and it has a lot to do with what we are ingesting. So yes, there's a deep connection with food, agriculture, beverages, drinks. Anything that goes into our mouth is connected to Taurus. Now, Jupiter in astrology is considered the quote-unquote great benefic, and this is simply just astrological lingo for a planet that gives more positive and jovial results. We always want to know what's going on with Jupiter because it's really the planet provider. It provides us with a lot of opportunities and blessings and growth and expansion. Now, because Taurus is deeply connected to consumption, unfortunately, because Jupiter is such a large planet, unfortunately, I do feel like, and I do expect during this transit for Jupiter, many people will experience some sort of weight gain and possibly even like water retention during this transit. Again, Taurus is all about indulgence in different foods, beverages, drinks, even sweets and desserts. So, for example, if you have Taurus in your first house or your second house, a lot of people with that placement and with that transit, I should say, will experience weight gain if you're not careful and if you don't take the necessary precautions not to, again, overindulge in different unhealthy foods. And not only that, just avoid eating late at night as well. Now, more on a lighthearted note, during Jupiter's transit in Taurus, I do expect many people, many human beings, their goals and their aspirations will be definitely more focused on adding more structure, stability, and sustainability. We have to remember at the end of the day, Taurus is an earth-based sign. It's the first earth-based sign in the whole zodiac belt. And Taurus is really, it's very simple zodiac sign. It has a lot to do with the different ways that we earn a living and the different ways that we add more income and wealth into our realities. So with that said, just because also keep in mind, as so many people tuning in today's video, they fully understand the state of the economy and just with how inflation has gotten so out of control, I do expect that human beings all around the world, and especially in Western societies and countries, will be focusing on finding different ways to add more wealth, possibly adding a side job or a side hustle, possibly looking at different ways to add more hours at their current jobs. But again, there's going to be this huge heavy focus during Jupiter's transit from May of this year till May of next year about people really focusing on their personal finances and really seeking for different ways to build and create more wealth and income into their personal lives. And this also includes getting their spouses, whether their husband or their wives, on board to come together with a mutual agreement on these practical, sustainable goals. Now, furthermore, Jupiter's transit in Taurus will definitely elevate and increase people's awareness. So Jupiter is the planet of awareness and higher states of consciousness. I do expect many people all around the world, their awareness and their understanding about, just going back to food here, people's awareness and their understanding about eating and their nutritional habits will become elevated, as I mentioned, in which people will in turn, this will really force people to make a lot of important and necessary changes to their diets and their lifestyle habits and their patterns. So even though a lot of people, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I do feel like many people will be overindulging in this, therefore will lead to a lot of weight gain and water retention. On the other hand, I do feel like many people, again, this all depends on your astrological chart and your setup, many people will be making significant changes to the different foods that they are consuming and kind of throwing away the unhealthy foods and beverages as well. Possibly cutting out alcohol, cutting out fast food, you name it. But a lot of people will be making more healthy changes to their diets as well. I really want to stress the point, I don't practice Western-based astrology. I practice and I work with the Eastern system, also known as Vedic astrology. So we can break this transit for Jupiter into 3 different parts. So today's video, I'm just focusing on the first part in which Jupiter will be transiting the first constellation in Taurus. There's 3 main constellations in the system that I work with. Now, today's video, Jupiter, I'm focusing on Jupiter's transit from May 1st, which is this week at the time of this recording, till June 12th of this year, 2024. So that's the first constellation that Jupiter will be transiting in. And the constellations in astrology are really important because it adds more specific flavor and tone and vibration and frequency to what's going on in the world. So again, from May 1st this year till the following month in June 12th, Jupiter will be in a constellation connected to sharp tools and objects and knives that can definitely be used as weapons and objects of destruction, excuse me. So therefore, I strongly predict that there will be, unfortunately, this increase in violence, warlike aggression, warlike energy, even crime, and just overall a lot more hostility and aggressiveness will be in the air, unfortunately. So again, this is the first constellation that I'm talking about, and this is only what I'm talking about in today's video. Now, Jupiter will be conjunct a very dark and demonic fixed star in the beginning of May. So this fixed star has a strong association with really people losing their minds and becoming unstable and really going crazy and becoming unhinged. So for the larger part of the month of May, Jupiter will be conjunct, as I mentioned, this dangerous fixed star, which therefore will create many unfortunate and dangerous situations such as terrorism, more violence, hostility, and insanity coming from human beings. Now, I also want to point out, I did make a video the other day actually talking about Mars transit. So the month of May, it doesn't look great. It's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very hectic. It's going to be very chaotic, and it looks very dangerous and very violent. There's so many dangerous and treacherous transits and astrological events occurring in the month of May. So with Jupiter's transit the first month in May, this is going to add insult to injury given the fact that Jupiter will be conjunct this dangerous fixed star that I just covered and I mentioned. So again, May, I really stress the point that it's going to get really crazy. Things are going to get really heated up. People's emotions will become out of control and people will be lashing out a lot of their anger. Now, for more insight in all of that, check out my Mars transit video that I put out, Mars transit through Pisces, the other day. So again, from May 1st to the following month, around June 12th, because Jupiter is transiting through that very intense constellation, furthermore, I do expect that the world will experience a lot of fiery and intense events because the constellation that Jupiter is transiting in and through is a very hard and intense constellation. So furthermore, I do expect that there will be even more rioting, more protesting, and just all in all, people lashing out a lot of their anger, their rage, and their hostility, especially pertaining to a lot of humanitarian events and concerns. Now, on a deeply spiritual level, I do like to touch base on spiritual elements in my forecasts, in my predictions as well. On a deeply spiritual level, it's really important to tap into Jupiter's energy during the month of May as well as June, because this will really help allow you to burn away a lot of negativity and toxicity in your reality. So this constellation in May and then in the first 2 weeks or so in June, it has a strong connection to fire. And on a spiritual level, it has a lot to do with burning away and cutting toxicity and negativity, negative vibes, negative energy out of our personal lives. So again, really tap into this spiritual energy of Jupiter so you can reap the benefits. So for example, cutting away bad people, bad relationships, toxic friendships, possibly toxic jobs and careers, toxic workplaces, toxic situations. Really be open to making important shifts and changes in your personal realities during the month of May as well as June as well. Really tap into this profound energy. I really encourage all of you tuning in today's video to tap into this spiritual energy. Now, on a more lighted note, Jupiter will be conjunct Venus in the month of May. So approximately around May 19th to June 3rd, Jupiter will be conjunct Venus. So during this time frame, Venus, keep in mind, does deal a lot to do with creativity and artistry, the different ways and means that we create art and creative things in this world is deeply connected to planet Venus. So during that time frame, May 19th to June 3rd, it's really a perfect optimal time to start and participate in any creative projects and endeavors that you would like to participate and initiate during that time frame. So anything from writing to singing to painting, filming, possibly even starting a YouTube channel, making videos, creating a TikTok channel if TikTok still exists in the upcoming weeks. This also includes creating music, writing songs, you name it. So again, anything creative and artistic in nature, this is the optimal, perfect time to tap into that universal creative energy and flow. Furthermore, many people that are already considered artists of really any kind, whether you are a musician, singer, songwriter, actor, actress, whatever it is, many people that are already living that artistic and artistry lifestyle of any kind, I do feel like they will be hit with a lot of creative and spiritual insights and downloads during that time. So really listen and take heed of all of these insights, especially if you are a creative soul. Don't ignore these creative insights and downloads coming to you. Just embrace it all. And again, like I said, this is a video geared to the first 2 months of Jupiter's transit. Now, something I also don't want to miss before closing out today's video is that in the first 2 weeks in June of this year, so not May, but the following month in June, Uranus will actually be shifting and moving into Taurus. Again, I'm not a Western-based astrologer. So the first 2 months of June, unfortunately, I do expect that there will be a lot of very messy and intense weather patterns and natural disasters, especially earthquakes and earth tremors and shakes. And the reason why I say this is because we have to remember that Taurus is an earth-based zodiac sign, so therefore that deals with earth-related natural disasters. Again, earthquakes, tremors, shakes, and that's not just to say that it's just limited to those. But again, Uranus and Jupiter will be conjunct the first 2 weeks in June, like I mentioned, so that will create a lot of really intense weather patterns that I do expect and predict. So the best way to support my channel is to just simply subscribe and hit the bell below, as well as hitting the like button. Make sure that all notifications are turned on, and I hope you found today's video helpful. And again, if you are really needing an astrological chart reading and consultation, the best way to schedule that is to send me an email, which is always posted down in the description down below. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video to come.